Coffee Hour. Welcome to Coffee with our morning host. We broadcast a host of programs like current topics, newspaper headlines, and music on Radio Sri Lanka. Tune in every weekday from 7 to 8 a.m.
That's right, we're going to move into Coffee Hour, and with me in the studio, sharing the mic, and going to be on the program is a very special lady. Gemina Perera, Manager Financial Planning and Forecasting, and an avid social worker on holiday in Sri Lanka from Canada. Well, it's lovely to have you on this program of Coffee Hour, and thank you very much for accepting our invite, Gemina.
Thank you for having me here this morning, Sunday. I'm very excited.
All right, yes, I can see it. It shows. All right, and we're going to talk on rupees and cents and also on charity work. So two interesting topics which holds interest for most of us. Starting at the very beginning, Gemina, at a corporate level, you being a finance person, how important is financial management and forecasting, and how is it carried out in principle?
Yeah, talking about financial management and forecasting, Sunday, that's a huge area. I can probably talk for hours, but for the purpose of this show, I'm going to make it very simple and easy for the non-finance person, the non-finance listener this morning to understand. So financial planning, financial management is the foundation of any organization because that's what ensures an organization's continuity and growth, and most importantly, maximizing the returns for investors. So if I'm an investor, I would want to put my money in a place that I can get a better return than the bank.
That's right.
Otherwise, I can just put it in the bank and just sit there and earn an interest. So that's at a very high level what finance management should do to an organization. It's the process of ensuring growth, continuity, and giving a nice return to the investors.
Right, and showing that a company is healthy, isn't it?
That's correct, yes.
All right. And talking of some of the key indicators that show a company is financially in troubled waters, when should a company start, maybe it doesn't always hit right at the beginning. Maybe once they go into deeper waters that they realize, what are some of the key indicators that make one realizes that finances are in a spot of trouble?
Yeah, there are a number of things that would indicate an organization being in trouble. But I like to focus a lot on cash flow management.
Right.
Because an organization could be profitable. So on paper, you do see that your sale price is good, your costs are managed. Managing cost is another big area of finance management, making sure that we've got the best cost to be able to maximize profits. But however, if we are not collecting fast enough.
Right.
So if we have our funds sitting in a customer's hand and we are borrowing to pay our suppliers, it's not something any organization can continue for a long time. I think that's a huge indicator. How do we manage our cash flow? So you could be profitable, but if you're constantly borrowing from a bank or any other organization to meet your expenses, there is a finance cost. Your costs are going to build up. I think that's the main area to concentrate on for any organization to ensure timely cash flows. That's a huge indicator of an organization being in trouble. Of course, from there onwards, if you're not being, if your business is not profitable, yes, that comes as an important factor as well. But I think anybody would get into a profitable organization, but then they're not too focused on how quickly they want to collect the funds.
Right. Right. All right, so let's go in for a musical break and come back with our next topic, equally interesting, on the social work that you are involved in. All right, they better be good at multiplication, all those finance people out there. All right. And coming back on to more this coffee hour, Gemina, well, let's talk about, one of your passions. I know more than finance, you like the social service part of what you're doing.
That's correct, yes.
All right. So what prompted you, in fact, to get involved, to be involved, and to involve yourself in social work? How did it start?
Yeah. So I have been doing up till 2019, I would say, because that was my turnaround. Up until then, I've been doing a little bit of social work on my own. When I come to Sri Lanka, I visit villages in Anuradhapura mainly, and provide dry rations to people. I've also built a house for a family. Help out with people who are sick, funding their medical bills and stuff like that. But in 2019, I was here in April when the Easter bombing happened. Mm-hmm. I was in Anuradhapura when this happened. I was in a very remote area working with a couple of families, taking dry rations for them. And then I heard about the Easter bombing, and I wondered, what can I do to help out in this situation? We managed to get back to Colombo the very next day, and I have zero experience in anything to do with medicine and medical stuff. But I thought, if I get into a hospital, I'll be able to probably give my phone to the foreigners who got affected by the bombing, and if they wanted to, because they would have probably lost their phones and their some way to contact their loved ones and say that they're safe. So I managed to get into the National Hospital. There is a monk there who does a lot of charity work. He had visited Canada the year before. I had his telephone number, so I called his office which is situated inside the National Hospital, and I said, is there anything I can come and do? And they said, yes, please come. Mm-hmm. They also wanted me to bring some very light clothing for people who had got burnt. I went there not expecting what I was supposed to do or what I could do. In my head, I was going to give the phone to people to make phone calls to their loved ones. But it was a huge eye-opener. There wasn't enough facilities for these people. People were all bandaged, sitting outside. Some patients were so bandaged and bedridden they couldn't go to a washroom. They needed diapers, and this monk had diapers and lots of supplies in his office that I was with his stuff. I was taking it to the wards. And also in one of the rounds coming back into his office, there was a call, I think, from Batiklo. They were looking for an ICU bed. They had a patient, very, very critical patient. They didn't have an ICU bed to put this patient. He was on speakerphone. One of his office staff was on speakerphone, and I was listening to this conversation, and he was like, yes, we can give you an ICU bed. Can you send us transport? And I was like, this is, they were able to save a life. This is something I need to help out with. I went back to Canada, and interestingly, the monk wasn't there that day. He was on tour in the US, but when I went back to Canada, he was in Canada. I was like, I'm going to help you find these items here in Canada as well. Within a month, we have a great community in Canada who are ready to help their motherland. They came together. Within a month, we were able to send a 40-foot container full of diapers, beds, wheelchairs, and all that. It was huge, and I wanted to continue it. We did it through a temple in Canada. It's called the Western Buddhist Temple. The monks there helped out too. We wanted to continue this, but unfortunately we were hit by COVID. Sending anything during COVID time was a risk. But right after COVID, we started off again. And yeah, in a nutshell, that's what made me go into charity work so deep.
Right, amazing. You mentioned earlier on, Pretty in Pink. That sounds an attractive tagline, and sounds nice, Pretty in Pink, and I think it has something to do with ladies, because pink and ladies are synonymous. Would you like to tell us what it is? What
Yes.
it is about?
Yes. Yeah, I'm very excited about the Pretty in Pink team. We put this team together in, I would say, September of last year. So, again, I was in Sri Lanka.
And it consists of?
Consists of all ladies. We
Right.
started with 8, and
Okay.
we want to keep to 7 to 8 ladies
Right.
continuing this this committee. Yeah, again, I was here in Sri Lanka in March. I came to assist a child who was losing his battle to cancer. His parents had left him. He was living with his grandmother. I was trying to reach out and find out what I could do. I knew he was, there was nothing anyone could do. He was losing his battle, but I wanted to come and provide a better transition for him. During this time, I visited the Indra Cancer Trust, asking for help. There was a medical crisis at the time. He did not have painkillers, so I reached out to every person and organization I could to get him the painkillers. So I saw what Indra Cancer Trust was saying, is doing to help the cancer patients, and I wanted to help out. So going back to Canada, yes, I had this. We now have a group who does the bed shipments, but I wanted to divert a little bit from that and do something together with the ladies. This organization is very different. We want to do it in a way that there are no precedents, there's no leader. It is the passion that would lead everyone to do their best. So as a first step, we wanted to help out with breast cancer. So October is the breast cancer month. We also wanted to do something that Toronto has, the Toronto Sri Lankan community hasn't seen
Right.
yet. So we started off with a fashion show, which was something new. We did a brunch for the ladies. And also, the other thing that we really focused on achieving here was to bring all 3 communities together. So we had involvement from the Sinhalese, the Tamil, and the Muslim communities in putting this together. It was a huge success. We were able to send 3.2 million rupees to Indra Cancer Trust to help out with patients with breast cancer. So since this was a big hit and people were asking, we were referred to as the Pretty in Pink ladies, we wanted to continue to do more things, not just breast cancer, but help in other areas as well.
All right, Gemina. Well, let's take a musical break with Belinda Carlisle and come back with more. All right, and we had Pussycat there putting in an appearance instead of Belinda Carlisle. Coming back on more, and we're having Gemina Perera, Manager Financial Planning and Forecasting, and an avid social worker with us on the program. And getting back to Pretty in Pink, Gemina, would you like to tell us what is in the pipeline, what the programs and the things are that you all have planned for the upcoming season?
Yeah, thank you for that question, Sandy. We are in the process of planning an exhibition cricket match.
Interesting.
Yeah, so like I said, this is a women-only organization. We don't have leadership. It's the passion that's going to drive this committee to do better and better in the future. Now here we are stepping a little bit outside of women's comfort. I feel like we're trying to bring in gender equality here as well. So we're planning a cricket game, and not only is it a cricket game, we have also invited Mr. Roshan Mahanama and Chaminda Was to be there at this event. Roshan Mahanama will be facilitating the match. Chaminda Was, on the other hand, would be captaining the Pretty in Pink team. So we are really looking forward to this. And the team, the Pretty in Pink team, even though it's going to be all men, will be playing with players from the Canadian team.
Right.
So it's really exciting. A lot of people have helped us along the way to get to this point. Right now, we're just ironing out the last little bit and selling our tickets. It's going to be very interesting. I mean, women doing a cricket game, planning a cricket game.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So we have a lot of stuff organized. There's going to be a nice buffet, music and dancing. One of the other exciting things that we would be doing at this show would be auctioning a cricket bat, which is autographed by the ICC 1996 winning team.
All right.
Yeah, so all the funds from this event will again go towards Suva Aruna, which is part of Indira Cancer Trust, which was recently, they opened their doors recently. I was there yesterday. I saw the first patient being admitted. We are all very passionate about helping children with cancer and other medical needs here in Sri Lanka.
All right. Well, Gemina, living in Canada, what are some of the organizations that you all have helped back home in Sri Lanka, apart from the Indira Cancer Trust?
Yes. So like I said, we've helped the hospitals with beds and other requirements. We've also, during the medical crisis, we've also helped Suaseria. We also have an agreement in place to help them over the next year as well. So as soon as we've already embarked on it,
right.
But we will get into it 100% as soon as this August 19th event is done. I will be meeting them as well during this visit and look at all the requirements that they need. So we feel that the ambulance service here, the 1990 ambulance service, is a very needed service.
Absolutely. It's of vital importance, yes.
Yeah, so, getting a patient to the hospital on time, and for the people out there to know that there is a service like this, that they're able to call and get to a hospital on time, is huge, I think. So we want to help them. We want to help out with this service.
Definitely, because that ambulance service has saved many a life, I would say, hearing other people's stories.
Yeah. So that would be, we've already embarked on it, as I said, but we are going to get into it 100% once we're done with this August 19th project.
So anything else you would like to add on your social service aspects of life?
Right, yeah. So we've worked with other partner organizations in the U.S.
Right.
helping out in this current medical crisis. And I think anyone who is able to help out in this situation should come out and help. Even though we live so far away from our motherland, when you come here and you set your feet on on Sri Lankan soil.
That's right.
You get that feeling, this is our people, this is my country. And I think everybody should come forward, help out, especially in the current situation.
That's right. All right, and at 7:41, let's break for a musical track and also have our untouched coffee before we come back. This is the Coffee Hour coming to you over the airwaves of Radio Sri Lanka on 97.4 and 97.6. And Gemina Perera is our special guest this morning. Well, Gemina, I understand that your core career is in finance, being a manager of financial planning and forecasting, and also a good part of your time is taken up with social work. So, well, how do you juggle both? I know finance, being in finance is not easy. It's a difficult task. You have deadlines, you have budgets, you have such a lot to phase in and phase out. So how do you find time for both? How do you juggle both, Gemina?
Yeah, good question there, Soundy. Sometimes I wonder myself, how do I juggle this stuff? But if I really think about it, I honestly love working with finance. So when I sit down to work in the morning, I'm fully engrossed in my work. I honestly love what I do, so my mind doesn't run around. I'm very focused. And then once work is done, sometimes during lunch, I just go back to my social work because it seems like a break away from the numbers.
Right, yes.
Yeah. So it gives me a great satisfaction to be able to help people, to be able to help Sri Lanka. And also, most importantly, working with 6 great ladies.
Mm-hmm.
They're so passionate about this. They also put a lot of time and effort making sure that everything goes well. We maintain our standards. We want and maximizing on donations to be able to do the best. So I think it's a great mix. During the day, I'm working so much with numbers, and then you just quickly switch on to
Something totally different,
helping people and working with these wonderful ladies. And also the community who are out there so eager to help, looking for avenues to help Sri Lanka. And here we are. I'm sure they place a lot of trust in us. So, yeah, working with people is beautiful.
And talking of the financial aspect of it, since you work for the corporates, but on an individual basis, how would you downgrade it to an individual basis, like on how best to plan out finances? Because in this day and age, every rupee counts and it has to be stretched as far as it could be. So how would you suggest on an individual basis, how can that be done?
Right, yeah. So my expertise is in budgeting and forecasting. So if I take it down to an individual, actually taking a step back, I think it's not just the corporates who should be managing finances.
That's right.
A country should manage their finances. Individuals must manage their finances. So it's a great question. So if I, for example, take myself and I think, maybe I like to go to Greece. It's on my bucket list. It's something I really want to do, let's say. And
I wish you luck.
Thank you. So I can embark on this in 2 different ways. One, I could say, okay, I'm going to hit this cost on my credit card and take this trip.
Right.
But I could also do a more intelligent planning process in this. I could look at what the ticket costs are, what the hotel costs are going to be, take what that total cost is, and then see if I can save at least half of that cost. How much time do I need in order to put away some money so that I don't put the entire thing on credit? Maybe I can save up entirely for this, or I could put half on credit and save up the rest. And doing this, again, we need to think about what other expenses are coming along the way. If both my sons are done university, but if I have a kid that I have to pay for university. So which one is priority? Do I have enough finances to go on this trip plus? So these are things that any organization juggles as well. But an organization, the difference is that when they're putting an investment like that, they're looking for a financial return.
That's right.
So going to Greece will not give me a financial return, but the return is the education, seeing a different country, the beautiful places the country has to offer.
That's
so
right.
This is the same thought process that goes on in an organization's planning process. What is coming up? What are the investments we can make? And also, how do we manage our costs? How do we meet all our expenses? Every person should also think like an organization, especially during this time. Not only in Sri Lanka, even in Canada, the interest rates are going up. Inflation is through the roof. We want to manage our finances so that we are not borrowing more at that high interest rate. Very similar to any organization, and I think even in Sri Lanka, from last year to this year, I find the commodity prices have increased, travel costs have increased. And then I wonder how do people manage? But here's a way to think about that.
Planning finances is something of paramount importance, I think, not only in Sri Lanka, but globally as well, because many countries are going through a bit of a financial crunch now with inflation soaring, prices soaring, and...
That's correct. Yes.
And, So anyway, it has been good talking to you this morning, Gemina, and... anything else you would like to add in our final closing moments?
Thank you for having me this morning. I'm so happy that I was able to talk about Pretty in Pink, especially. Mm-hmm. And I'm here I spoke on behalf of the 6 other ladies who are in the committee.
Right. All right, Gemina, together with our producer, Indira Navagamua, let me thank you very much for starting your day with us, accepting our invite, being with me here in the studio, and let me wish you a fabulous Tuesday.
Thank you.